Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Morgan Flowers, and as you can see from the title, we're going to talk a little bit about productivity, organization, and the things and the methods that I use to maintain some sort of schedule. So just to preface this video, I am a content creator, but I also have a 9-to-5, and I also plan 2 women-based events throughout the year, and I also take on different projects outside of my 9-to-5 and outside of content creation. So I wanted to share just 5 tips with you guys, simple things that I do that I feel like helps me keep some sort of a flow, and let's jump into it. So tip number 1 is going to be to have something that allows you to keep some sort of schedule, whether it's going to be something digital, something physical. You want something that'll help you maintain a structure in your life. If you're more of a digital person and you prefer to open out your phone or just have your computer, something on your desktop, then I would recommend things like Google Calendar, which I do use, things like Airtable, Notion. These are all platforms that'll help you just maintain some sort of structure. You can fill in what you want to plan for. You can fill in your tasks, fill in your goals, fill in things that'll help you time block. And again, it'll be right on your phone. It's handy dandy. Say you're a busy person, you move around a lot, you travel a lot, this will probably be a little bit better for you. Now me, I'm a physical person. I love having something physical. I'm a planner girly. I've always been that way. And I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I use that are physical. So here I have 4 different physical options that'll just help you, again, maintain some sort of structure. You don't have to use all 4. I use probably 3 of them regularly, and I'm going to go through each of them. If you're a physical person just like I am, you can maybe implement 1 or 2 of these things just to, again, help you a little bit with structure. The first thing I want to show you guys is just a classic planner. This is my go-to month to month. I actually love happy planners. I pretty much get them every year. I literally write almost everything in here. I'm going to show you guys my monthly page just to show you guys an idea of what my month typically looks like and the things that I write within each month. So some things that I include in my physical planner are things like if I have an obligation, a work shift that I may be doing, when a bill is due, writing out tasks, different things that I have to do. If I'm going to dinner with a friend, I literally write out every little thing, things that almost feel a little minute, things that are super small, but you may just want to remember for the future. If you have a busy week, this really helps me if you want to plan for the future. If it's January and you have something to do in March, maybe you have a dental appointment, very easy, just write it in there so you already have it on your mind and you can just start filling up your month. I'm also a visual person, so I think that they kind of just go hand in hand. The visual and the physical, I can just see my entire month. And it just helps me a lot. Birthdays, if I have a party to go to, and also on the side in my notes, I also write down sort of like my analytics lightly. Again, I'm a content creator, so I write out how many Instagram followers I'll start with and how many I end with the end of the month. I'll write down how many people are in my newsletter channel, just a bunch of different things on the side, just so I can keep a mental note of my growth throughout the month. So again, very handy dandy, and even just being able to come back to these pages and see what I did, or if I was hosting an event, I'll write down how many tickets I sold on a particular day. And again, just keeping some sort of structure, but this is if you're more of a detail person. And the next book that I'm going to show you guys will be more for detail people as well. So at the beginning of the year, I hosted an event that allowed us to make vision books, and this has been a staple in my everyday life. I write more detailed things in here. If I want to plan something, if I'm planning for a YouTube video, I'll write out the things that I want to talk about. If I'm planning for a goal, I'll write out things that help me achieve my goal, and just more detailed ideas and stuff like that in this book. So the purpose of this book was to serve as like a journal, scrapbook, vision board, like crossover. So I do have a bunch of different things in here, but I added these little tabs that allow me to just organize my thoughts. If I want to focus on something for YouTube, I have a tab for YouTube where I write out thoughts, ideas, scripts, and different things like that. If I have a collaboration, I'll write out the notes of the collaboration or things that I want to remember, or a shot list for ideas that I'll have. If I have a health goal, I'll write down something that I'm doing that can help me achieve the health goal. Or maybe if I have a gym set that I want to get used to, or notes about classes that I like to take, I'll write down more detailed thoughts like that in this book. I'll even go as far as to write out like prayers or something that I want to achieve. Again, more specific things, but this also helps me with organization because I have somewhere to come back to. Especially with the tabs, I can literally just go back to a thought or go back to an idea or a concept that I already started, and just kind of organize my brain in that way, and just being able to dump my ideas in one place. This is something that I would recommend changing every year. I do plan on doing another one so that I can just kind of start fresh, start the tabs over again, and also save it for future reference. Being able to go back to it and see your old thoughts, things that you tried to do, things that you want to return to. And it just helps me with that organizational aspect. These next 2 books are books that I pull for pretty lightly. The first one is going to be this top 3 book by Erin on Demand. It just helps you organize your daily priorities. It's huge. There are so many pages in this book, and it's also super simple. Her concept for just having 3 goals is just to help you organize your brain a little bit and not overload your plate. Instead of listing out a million things that you can do every day, think about 3 major things that you want to tackle through the day. It feels better to be able to check those off. When you have a huge list, there are things you don't get to. You may get discouraged by that a little bit more often. So I love the concept of this. And again, there are so many pages in this book. So I've had this for some time now. She has an updated version of the book, which I will have linked below if you guys are interested in her top 3 book. And another physical option that I have is just this weekly check-in book where it just allows me to sort my tasks, have an idea dump, write out things that I'm grateful for, track my mental health, and just like something cute that I just look forward to jotting in every week. And again, it's just like a simple way to be organized, or just to have like a 1-sheeter, and again, just track my goals for the week. So this is the last physical thing that I'm going to show you guys. And again, try maybe one of those physical ideas, or even try the digital if you like a Google Calendar. I do keep a note of the things that I have to do in my Google Calendar as well, and just create a bunch of different calendars to help me stay on track with that. I do have a link to a video of me breaking down how I do it. It's a TikTok video, but again, if you want some more guidance with a Google Calendar, I have that below. So make sure you check that out. The second tip that I want to give you for being more organized and productive would be to give yourself deadlines for things. Make a mental note of when you want to finish things, and you'll be more likely to abide by it. If you give yourself a month to finish a simple task, you're going to take that whole month. You're going to keep pushing it off until the month is over, and you may even push it off again after that. But if you give yourself until, okay, let's give myself a week to complete this task, it'll become a little bit more easier, and you're able to just check off the things that you want to complete. Your calendars and planners, whether they're digital or physical, they'll give you a layout of what you want to do, but if you don't abide by them, what would be the point, right? Like, so if you don't give yourself a deadline, then all the planning and the layout will go out the window. And honestly, we're at a point where the weeks are passing by so quickly. If you don't plan for it, if you don't set a dedicated day to be done with it, everything is just going to continue to pile up, and just going to continue to pile up. So try to set a date for something so that you can knock it right off your list and keep on moving to the next thing. An example would be like, say if you want to apply for a different position at your job, but you're hesitant, or you're worried, or you're wondering if you're qualified enough. Give yourself until the end of the year to prove to yourself that you can do it. Give yourself a deadline for certain things so that you don't keep pushing it off every single time. Next thing you know, you won't apply for the new position until 2026. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself a deadline so that you can just keep some sort of structure, and again, push things out of the way and move on to the next task that you want to do. A personal example would be, I really want to try and read a little bit more. So I told myself, give yourself a month to read 1 book. Give yourself a month to read 1 book. And I think that helps me because I'm like, okay, today is this date. I only have this many days to finish this book. And again, it just helps me keep some sort of a structure. The third tip I want to share is to keep a routine. This doesn't mean to follow any old routine. Try to find something that works for you. Don't try to follow someone else's routine. Like if you see a TikTok video where they're explaining the different things that they do throughout the day or throughout the week, don't follow what they do, but try to create something that works with your own life and that you'll actually stick to and abide by. A routine would be waking up at a certain time, or picking a day of the week to meal prep. Like, try to keep a routine so that you can feel a little bit more productive. I know I feel better when I accomplish something. When I finish something, when I check off something that I wanted to do, I feel so much better. And I think a routine helps me stay on track with that. Every Sunday, I plan out content, I post stuff, I draft stuff, so that throughout the week, I already have stuff that'll keep the ball rolling. If you're a business owner, pick a day throughout the week where you can do your admin work. I know we don't really want to do it. It's really annoying going through the paperwork, doing the back end tasks. But pick a day that'll help you maintain a routine so that things don't pile up. And I feel like that's what makes it the worst, when you have so much on your plate and you feel so overwhelmed. But it's probably because you didn't keep a routine. You didn't hold yourself to the routine that you made for yourself. So highly recommend. Other examples for a routine is waking up at a certain time. If I wake up early, I know that I have this amount of time before I need to head to work to do this. And helps me maintain a flow, helps me feel better about myself when, again, I'm checking things off the list, or when I eat breakfast, or when I go to a workout class, and I make time for those things because I keep my routine and I try to keep my structure. I tend to feel a little bit flustered when I don't keep my routine, so I do think that really could help. And also just keeping in mind that your routine may not look like someone else's. Your waking up early may be 9 a.m. where someone else's wake up early is 6 a.m. That's fine, as long as you maintain it and you keep it and you follow it. And all of our routines are honestly going to be different, and that's perfectly okay. Just kind of try to abide by something. We all have a routine in one way or another, but if it's not serving you, then you may need to switch it. So that's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 would be to stay around and follow people who motivate you, because when you are surrounded by people who you can actually pull energy from, positive energy from, it'll help you to be more productive. If you're following someone who's doing something that you love, or doing something that you want to do, or who's accomplishing a goal that you want to also meet, you may feel more inclined to take tips from them. If you have friends that are doing something that you want to do, you'll feel more inclined to take tips from them and to feel a sense of motivation from those people. I think being surrounded by people who are doing something that you want to do can help to give you that extra boost. If you're following people who are not motivating to you at all, or who don't make you want to get up and get to it, then it's just like, I like following people on social media who actually give me a little boost, who put a battery in my back, who I can watch their content, or I can watch some things that they're doing and makes me go, yeah, let me get on it, or let me get to my own goals, or let me strive for this or strive for that. And that really just helps me be more productive. It's something super simple, but if you have trouble pulling that energy out of yourself, then sometimes people around you can help to assist you in doing that. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen posts before where I'm like, let me get my life together, or let me get up right now, or let me pull it together because of who I'm following, or because of who I am motivated by. So I feel like follows, and even your friends, that they can help you a whole lot. And last but not least, tip number 5 would be to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to look for help and outsource help, especially if you're not someone who is naturally organized, or you're not naturally motivated to be productive, or you're not naturally a type A person. Look for it. Look for sources. If you have a friend that's doing better with organization, ask them, how do they do it? Look up videos on TikTok, how to be more organized, what I can do to be more productive. Ask for help, search for it, seek it. Sometimes you just need to feed yourself that help. We are never too old to ask for guidance at all. It doesn't matter who it's coming from. I've had a friend ask me how I maintain everything, and it literally inspired me to do a whole video on the different things that I do throughout the week and throughout the month, to be organized and to stay productive. So ask. You know, if you're following someone that you really enjoy watching, maybe they have a video already when they explain something. Ask them if they have one, or ask them if they can make one. Sometimes I get video requests about how do I do this or how do I do that, or it can be something super simple, but asking me can sometimes put a bug in my brain to do something dedicated to whatever they're asking me. So ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for guidance. If being productive and organized is not something that comes naturally to you, you can find a million people online explaining different ways that they are productive or organized, whether it's home stuff or whether it's mental stuff. There are a million different ways to stay motivated and to stay organized. And just remember that none of this will work without the willpower. It's not going to work if you don't actually implement the things. It's not going to work if you don't use the planner. The planner sitting over there with the dust on it is not going to work if you don't actually utilize what it's here for. What's the use of writing out your checklist if you don't actually tackle the things that you have to tackle? So just keep in mind that you have to just get up and do it. You can do it. And I'll have some links below to TikToks that I've done about being productive or organizing in any sort of way. And I hope this was helpful to you guys at least a little bit. I will see you guys in another video. Okay, bye. Double text got me out of my element. I don't wanna feel like I'm settling. Double